Good morning, grade 4, and welcome. Last week, we looked at the signs of life. 1. We said that living things make and use energy to keep on living. 2. Living things grow and develop. 3. Living things respond to things outside of themselves. And 4. Living things make new life. Right, so we'll move on to the new lesson, plant reproduction. Do you remember in chapter 5 when we looked at the importance of plant life? We said that the flowering plant has 6 parts. If you can remember, you can name them with me. Roots, stems, leaves, flowers, fruit, and seeds. Now, which of these parts of the plant reproduce? Yes, the flower. This is the part we will be focusing on today. A plant is like a factory full of activity. Teams of cells are working hard. Root cells are taking in water and minerals from the soil. Stem cells carry the minerals and water to the leaves. Leaf cells are using sunlight to make energy for the plant. Flower cells are getting ready to make new life. Flowers make sperm cells and egg cells. Both are needed to pass on God's gift of life. So let me point out here, in plant life, it's the flowers or the flower that is responsible for the reproduction of the plants. And they make both sperm cells and the egg cells. Okay? We're going to look at the sexual parts of a flower. Look at the drawing of a cherry blossom. Inside the petals is a group of stamens. At the top of each stamen is a little sac filled with yellow dust called pollen. Each grain of pollen makes 2 sperm cells. The stamens, pollen, and sperm cells are the male parts of the plant. Every kind of flower makes its own kind of pollen. Most pollen grains are so tiny you need a microscope to view them. A few are large enough to see with a magnifying glass. Right in the center of the flower stands a vase-shaped part called the pistil. Now look closely. You can see that the bottom of the pistil is wide and round. This is the ovary. An egg cell is inside the ovary. The pistil, ovary, and egg cell are the female parts of the plant. If everything goes right, the egg cell will become a seed. Let us continue by reading the miracle of pollination. Bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds eat the sweet nectar from flowers. They go from one flower to another. Grains of pollen stick to their bodies and ride along. Sometimes wind blows pollen from one flower to another. Some pollen lands on the pistil. The pollen grows a tiny tube. The tube pushes down through the pistil to the ovary. Then the pollen sends the life-giving sperm cell down the tube. The sperm cell joins the life-giving egg cell, and new life begins. In plants, this is called pollination. When a sperm cell joins the egg cell, together they begin to form a seed. A seed has a hard coat or skin that protects it. When conditions are right, the cells inside the seed go to work to produce a new plant. After pollination, sometimes the ovary develops and gets larger. It becomes the fruit that contains the seeds. In a cherry tree, a juicy red fruit surrounds each seed. In an apple tree, one fruit has several seeds. Who knows another word for blossom? Another word for blossom is the flower. You know, sometimes people refer to the plant as saying that the plant is now blossoming. It means it's flowering. Okay, so let's now summarize what we said today in this lesson. We said that the flowers make both sperm cells and egg cells that are needed for reproduction. The stamens, pollen, and sperm cells are the male parts of the plant. The pistil, ovary, and egg cell are the female parts of the plant. Okay, so that's it for this week. Next week you will have a quiz. Yes, a quiz. All right? And you will copy the notes that I will post on your screen and answer the questions also. So that's all for now. Goodbye.